Hi. Alright, this is a 2013 Chrysler Town & Country. The complaint was battery light came on and the voltage was dropping. Classic alternator failure. I got it to the house. Had to put a jump pack on it to get it into the garage. To get it started and get it into the garage. Alternator, or the battery, was at like 10 volts and dropping. Actually, it was closer to 8 or 9 volts and dropping. So we let it cool off, charged up the battery, fired it up the next morning, and it's charging at 14.5 volts, putting up plenty of amperage. Put every accessory on, still holding at 14.5. Do amperage, check the amperage coming to the battery or leaving the alternator, and we had over 50 amps. So this alternator was maintaining the battery and running all the accessories as designed. Now, why wasn't it doing it last night? Well, after we ruled out the control circuits, which is this plug, it's power and pulse width modulated ground, and we ruled out that our alternator positive stud and wiring could carry a load just fine. We realized that this alternator has what's called a decoupler pulley. This isn't just a standard pulley like they used to have. So what this decoupler pulley does is, when the engine's under a high load and then you take it off or decelerate and take your foot off the accelerator, the mass of the rotor spinning will actually put extra tension on that belt as it's turning around. So what this does is it actually disengages and freewheels. It lets the alternator freewheel. So what had happened was it got nice and hot, and at some point during the drive it started freewheeling and it never released and re-engaged. So got a brand new one to go back on. And if you've ever looked at the front of one of these 3.8 liter V6s, there is not a lot of room. So how do you get it off? Step one is drain the coolant out of the radiator. You just need to get it below the water pump outlet. Take your upper rad hose off. Disconnect your fan and temp sensor that goes on the fan shroud. And you're just pushing these little, see if I can show you, push these little clips in, one on each side on the top, and slide the fan up, wiggle it out, careful not to damage the condenser and the radiator. After that, take your intake snorkel off, your box, all you do is pop it loose and it comes right out. Take one nut for your power steering reservoir. Now you've got all sorts of room to sneak in there and get a wrench on your tensioner. Once you get the tensioner and the belt off, there's just one nut and a stud going this way, right about there's the stud, and then you have two bolts that sit just like this and bolt the alternator up to the block. If you don't take the fan out, you're not getting this bad boy out. You can't go down because the AC compressor and lines are right below it, and you can't sneak it back this way to come out of this hole because the catalytic converter is there. So your only option is to come this way, and you can pull the dipstick, or you can just slightly move it in about an inch, sneak it out, and when you put the new one in there, just tweak this back so it doesn't interfere with our idiot cover, and fill the coolant back up, and away we go. Hope this helps you.